Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, everybody in podcast land. Good evening, CC.
Good evening, baby.
How you doing this evening?
I'm great. Couldn't be better.
What
Every day
awesome.
above ground is a good one.
Yeah. But look, think about the persons who were not above ground. Those are the ones that's really happy, ain't they?
Yeah, yeah.
And get to see their Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But guess what? Do me a favor, take my time before I get to see him. Look what this is, everybody. Look at it. Look at it. Gotta say hi. That's Cookie. Cookie.
you know,
Anyway.
when you get ready to get on the air, I can come
Oh,
down
yeah.
here 1,000 times in a day. She won't come, but as soon as she know we about to get on the air, she haul ass down
Man, it's like attention. Get it from my daddy. Get it from my
there.
daddy. Cookie, say hi to everybody. Everybody, say hi to Cookie. That's Cookie. Anyway, if you don't know much about pets or stuff like that, I didn't know. My wife went and got me the dog. I had no idea. I haven't had a dog in 50 years. Last time I got a dog, somebody walk up and down the alley with some newspaper and have some puppies in there and ask you, anybody want a dog? And you ask your mother, and your mother say yeah or nay. And that's how
Right.
we got the dog. We call the dog Cookie, but actually we should call her by our real name, Capital One.
Lord Jesus.
Yeah, that's a real name because that's who own them. We don't own the damn dog. We make payments on the dog like it's a car. You know what I mean? Like she the house or something like that. If y'all don't know, dogs are expensive, but I'm gonna tell you something else. I wouldn't have it any other way. I love my dog. And if you out there in podcast land, do a little research on it. Hey Ollie.
Hey, Iris, how are you?
You know what I mean? Ollie is my god sister. Helped raise me, as a matter of fact. Her mother, my parents are my godparents. Rest in peace, Mr. George and Miss Bernice. Anyway, we're in here now. We're getting started. You know what I mean? This is our first day on our real our real schedule. The schedule is what is the schedule, CC?
Simply Us on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6:45 p.m. and Spotlights on Small Businesses on Wednesday at 6:45 p.m.
Oh, spotlight on small businesses is just exactly what it is. You can come on here and talk about your business, and we'll promote it. And that. If you don't know, Tiffany Wiggins says that she does taxes too. She's been doing it for quite some time. So we want to make sure to promote Tiffany Wiggins. But Carolyn Hill does our taxes. What is it called? Chill's Corner?
Yep. Chills.
Chill's Corner. Chill's Corner. I highly recommend them. They do a great job. But anyhow, don't play around with your taxes this time. If you're trying to get some money, you better get started because everybody's trying to get some. And if not, you know what I mean? You just want to get caught up. I was behind for quite some time. Thank you, Carolyn, for getting me right. I didn't know that you could get right, holding people all that damn money. But all you gotta do is like anything else, get started.
Yeah.
Got started, gotta go on there. They owe me money a couple years, right?
Yeah.
That's over now, though, ain't it? Yeah, I'm a dead man now. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's get prayer started. Father God, thank you for the wonderful things that's going on in all our lives. Father God, please continue to keep the podcast strong, keep the audience and listeners out there doing their thing. Father God, we always pray for everybody over there fighting those God-forsaken wars, losing mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, nephews, nieces, losing limbs, losing sight, losing relationships, losing homes, just losing so many things, Father God. It's the ultimate sacrifice. Please keep the vets. Please keep now. Let's pray for everybody. Please keep the officers. Please keep the firefighters. Please keep the guards. Father God, we're going to start implementing them in our prayers now. Rest in peace to the officers, the firefighters that lost their lives too. Father God, we always make sure we have a special prayer for everybody dealing with that God-forsaken pandemic. So, Father God, we're doing a lot better, but there's still room for improvement. Father God, these blessings and all blessings, we ask that you stay and keep us in your bosom. Amen.
Amen.
Hey, y'all. We're going to do our show tonight. so we can finish keeping ourselves on track. What we're
Hey,
doing,
Lisa.
everybody. Lisa's there. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? Lisa ever wants to get in and stuff like that, let us know, and we can get you in. Um, CC, you got a main topic tonight? I know you was talking
Um,
about something.
I did, and you know that Cece like to start stuff. So I don't know what happened to my banner, but first I wanted to say rest in paradise to the 3 firefighters who lost their lives fighting the fire in the vacant house on Monday. And there's still one firefighter that's in shock trauma. So I just say that we pray for them and pray for their families and keep them in prayer as we always do.
You
But
know, when we talking about, excuse me, see for jumping
mhm,
in. You know, as we talk about that, my wife is passionate about that. Like I always tell people, my son, uh, Jalen, is a officer. You know, a degree carrying officer, not just somebody who's a police officer. He also has a college degree. He chooses to be an officer. He can be anything he wants. But it's a tough task. I do armed security myself, so it's a game. Um, Watching somebody's stuff, just sitting back, relaxed, getting paid while you walk around with the gun. It's easy money and stuff like that. It ain't much to it until it's something to it.
right.
It ain't much to it till it's something to it. Sitting there working at the jail over the Great Clifton T. Perkins ain't nothing. We on some chill shit in the chair doing what we doing until somebody hits you in your mouth.
Right.
You know, it's an easy job being an officer until somebody's banging guns at you.
Yeah.
And I want you to know about the job before Cece talks about it. I want you to think about this. This is another hell of a profession, being a firefighter.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the firefighter's task. Everybody that owns something of value in the building or the structure is running out of it. Everybody who's stocks and bonds, who's diamond rings, everybody who's cars, everybody who's kids, everybody who's pictures, everybody who's money that owns something of value in the building is running out of it. And here comes you, a hero, running into the building with an axe with a wooden handle. Now I want you to think about that. They don't own nothing in there. Nothing. It's not their house. 8 out of 10, they don't even know the person. But the bell rings and they run over there to address it. Then they see that it's a darn, what was it, CC? Abandoned house.
Abandoned house.
First of all, whoever set the fire that these people died in, they're gonna find out who you are. But somebody gonna tell on you. And last but not least, hope that the next fire your dumb ass is in it. You piece of shit. But anyway, I say what people want to say, but don't say. But everything, everyone has in this building or structure a value, they're running out of it. And here come you running into it with an axe with a wooden handle. More heroes. Before the evening is over, before we close out, we'll have our last tribute and drinks up to make sure you get your shot glasses, get you something to sip on for Holly. We'll have our last toast to Officer Holly. Her name is Kiana. Officer Holly, Keon Tate and me. But my friend. So I apologize, see, for cutting you off, but that's the format I want everybody to know when she talks about these officers. Man, that's some heroes there, and that's a tough job. And very rare does somebody lose their life in it. But 3 to 4 lives, that's a catastrophe.
They said it's the biggest loss of life that they had in the Baltimore Police Department since 2006, I believe, was the last time that they lost a firefighter. But that wasn't the topic that I wanted to
Okay.
get on. But I just, we never let these kind of things go by, because that's a job that those are truly heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Those are really heroes. And the which just leads me to one of the topics that I wanted to discuss, was the vacant house situation in Baltimore City, because
Okay.
this was a vacant building. They said that this building had just been inspected, I think, a week prior. It was already deemed unsafe for human habitation. So my question is, should some charges be filed against the owner of that property? They live in Pennsylvania. They somewhere living their life, probably living their best life. A lot of these houses, people get inherited, get these houses by inheritance, and they just walk away from them. You know, so my thing is that this house had been. If anybody knows better than me, correct me, feel free. But there had already been a fire at this house a few years back.
Mm-hmm. I heard that.
So how these three heroes lost their life with this. Some of these properties are just nuisance properties, and I think that the city should either take these houses over and sell them. I remember
Can't
when
do
they
that.
used to have that dollar house program out there.
Stop
Either take these properties and sell them, or if they unsafe structures, to bring them down. But
it.
somebody should be
Good girl. Sit.
somebody should. I mean, and I know that somebody out there is probably looking at me and saying, we always looking for somebody to blame for something, but sometimes it's somebody to blame. Sometimes it's just a senseless, act that happens, that's unavoidable. But I think that some of these situations, I mean, this is becoming like a thing around the city. These uh vacant houses collapsing, and fires in these vacant houses. And the whole reason that the firefighters went into the structure in the first place was because, even though that house was vacant, there was houses that people were in that would be affected by the fire. So they had to go in, but somebody should. I mean, we just can't just keep letting these, like, it's okay. We done had a couple of these things come down. And Lisa, you right. Homeless people in them trying to stay warm, which is understandable, as cold as it's been. But it's got to be some other avenues that can be taken, instead of just letting these buildings stay. And there's so many of them in the city. It's so many, just to let
Well,
buildings stay, because they create so much hazard. They create a infestation with rodents, rat, fire hazard. I mean, there's so many things that can go wrong. And if you are the owner of this property and they just sent you a citation, fined you, did all of this kind of stuff, I mean, some level of accountability has to be given to somebody, because it's a mother and two fathers that are not going home tonight, you know.
okay. I'll go first. Once again, devil's advocate, as we were saying, yeah, drugs, listen, as we were saying, let's think about this. You punish somebody for something that they really have no control over and really had you don't want the house. Let's use you. See, you inherited a home. You inherited a home. You know what I mean? Your kid's father had a home. You get what I'm saying? Now, say you inherit this home, it's good and stuff like that, and something goes wrong with the home, you can't afford it, and then now something happens in there, and now they come lock you up. Do you You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, and I'm not necessarily saying that the accountability has to be that somebody has to go to jail, but something has to happen because you gotta take your responsibility, especially if it's over. I mean, if this the first time that you heard anything about it and it's just randomly happened out of nowhere, that's one thing. But that's not the case here. And what I'm saying is that somebody owns these properties, and it's a
Yeah,
lot of people. It's a lot of people out here that would like to be homeowners. You know.
yeah. Oh, that's what now. That's where I fit in there with you with that. You know what I mean? They're $1. They trying to sell them for $1. People ain't buying them. I don't know if people ain't notice. Even if you buy this dollar house now, you got it. Now somebody set fire to it. You done went and spent $1. Think you gonna do something. Now it's your turn to go to jail because you own the house, or they blame you. You know we got rental property, right? See, they did the wrong thing with their trash. Who gets the damn fine because they didn't put the trash in the trash can? We did.
Yeah.
We put our trash out. You get what I'm saying? You know, so it's something else. You know, I'm just playing devil's advocate, as we were saying. Maryland, Miss Mosley, the governor, the mayor didn't go off and shoot my grandson or anybody in Baltimore. Why is it that they're the only people that's held accountable for all the mayhem that's going on? You feel me? So it's more toward than that. I like the concept that you have. Let's figure out what kind of program that can get these houses in somebody's hand. But here's the whole problem with that. When they started doing it initially, it went well. I would say, what was it? See, 3 months, 4 months, before people started realizing they could get the money, the equity out of the house and stuff like that, do $500 worth of work. And then they legally had it. I knew somebody that did that, said you legally got 6 months before anybody else comes to inspect it. And they gave you a $20,000 loan for it. You got to be able to show that you did $500 worth of work, and the rest of the money you're supposed to be doing this. Well, then nobody check on it no more for the rest of the $19,500. You get what I'm saying? That's gone. So people bought 4 or 5 of them. Now instead of 20,000, 5 times 20, you got 100,000. You just put $5,000 worth of work on them. You walking away with 95 stacks. What are you gonna do with the 95 stacks? Fix up that house, or you gonna move out to Randallstown? Randallstown, here I come. You feel me? The whole catch is as CC saying out there, podcast land, the paper trail is what we need to figure out we're going to do.
Right. And just like I said, it don't always have to be a criminal penalty, but I'm gonna tell you something that has been my experience with people from all walks of life. The best way to get a person to pay attention is to hit them in the pockets. They gotta start paying something, if they go to work one day and their wages is garnished, or somebody took their taxes, I mean, it's a right way and it's a wrong way to do things. If you don't want the house, then you don't want the responsibility of it or anything that can go wrong with it, then it's avenues that you can take. But you can't just walk away and just let it be somebody else's problem, because then those are kind of decisions that come back to haunt you. And Lisa, you're absolutely right that we talked about it the other day, is preparation. You know what I'm saying? You have to be prepared, because your decisions and your misfortune should not bring everybody around you down. You know? So that's just my thoughts on that.
I mean, that's it, and I agree. That's a great topic. You know what I mean? I just said devil's advocate. You know, somebody died and left you something. You ain't want the house. Somebody died and left it to you. You know, okay, I don't want it. You can have it. Then they go up and tell you can't give it away. You feel me? It's stuff like that. Y'all remember, CC, you got kids. Kids out asking for Lisa. Lisa's child isn't that child, so she may or may not know. But then again, Lisa was a badass kid. So she know you get over there. My mother always say that, yeah, you can have her. You know what I mean? But a kid act up and 15 years old, They call the police on her and they come over there to the house and police said she done this and that. And the mother said, go ahead, well, listen, I don't, she's just too much work for me. Y'all take her. And what do? Tell them to CC. You know, I came from Baltimore City Child Protective Services. They lock your dumb ass up. You responsible for that child. That child under 18 years old, you can't walk away and say, I'm not going to do nothing with that child. It's your responsibility. Even if you out here asking for help, saying, I can't handle her. She's doing too much. Back in the day, you sent her to, what was it called? Shepherd Pratt, Waxter Center. Boy acting up, did you get the judge and send him to training school? Those days are gone now. You that child's guardian until he's 18. Reason why I know, I was Baltimore City Child Protective Service Transportation Supervisor. That's your problem. And there's no way around. And if you say what you're not going to do, I'm standing there with an officer and a social worker that's going to write you up, and then he's going to lock you up.
Lisa went way back. She said Montrose.
Yeah. Lisa should know. Lisa is a person that turned their life around. Lisa been in them places. You know what I mean? I don't think there's no shame and stuff like where she is. She's now a real estate agent with multiple licenses and stuff like that and helping people and all. But Lisa's a thug. You know what I mean? If you don't understand that, Lisa whip your ass. She out there fight mob. Really, she is. Lisa was a thug. You know what I mean? I was a thug. God just shook our dusty self and put us in a position we're in now. But I tell people that so that they'll always know. You know, Lisa means well and all that, but sad thing to say, but let's get it out of here. Let a knife cut sharp, cut deep. Do something wrong to Lisa and you need your ass whipped. Lisa gonna whip your ass. She's not a small person anyhow, right? See? She's a woman of stature. Lisa's 6 foot tall. You know what I mean? So anyway, these houses and stuff out here now, we need to figure out exactly what we could do. You know, CC's making a good point. When they start getting the loss of life, you know what I mean? Kiana, Officer Holly, is Officer Holly, everybody else, but she's my friend. She got children and grandchildren. It's gone. Father, grandmother, all lived in a house and needed her. Gone. Those firefighters, gone. Parents, uncles, fathers, husbands, gone. Gone. You know what I mean? You're looking at two people right here. I don't know who else is, but you're looking at two head of households. My wife's family is not the same without her. It's not the same. If something were to happen to me right now, it doesn't just affect me, it affects generations. It'll affect my great-granddaughter. I'm a lot of times the breadwinner in our family, even though they all work and got their own money and stuff, but Pop is a house where we have the Thanksgiving at. Cece is the one that make all the decisions on stuff on what we doing at the events and the affairs. My daughter Shatisha was here yesterday. Come by to have a drink and stuff like that, but she came to talk. Cece's their sounding board, you know, because she's old enough to be responsible. You know, she can be stepmom, but she's their buddy and pal. But Cece's a listener. I ain't no listener. Come to me talking about your dumb ass shit. You know what I mean? Get yourself together. I don't even know how I'm gonna pay the bill. How much you make? You made $70,000. You try to figure out because you owe somebody $800. Why you owe somebody $800? You making $70,000 a year with a $700 pocketbook. The hell's the matter with you? I ain't got no time to be holding alleged domain conversations with you, sleight of hand or trying to be nice. I ain't doing it. I'm appalled that you think that you could talk to me and hold that conversation. I ain't. So you got to have people like that around. Real talk. You know what I mean? I'm the decision maker. My family will never. It'll be a while if I died suddenly at work, dropping off a moon bounce for somebody come rob me and shoot me because I got $280 in my pocket. You know, that's what's going on. Lisa said something that I didn't really think about. See, We always see somebody wouldn't start a fire, but you got homeless people in there cold as hell. Who knows? Somebody could have been starting the fire to get warm. I never even thought about that, Lisa. That's a good point. That's why we have these podcasts, so you can learn some stuff. Get out here and learn. You know what I mean? All these houses is like the melting pot. You go by there to get a plate all the time. That's where you going there for New Year's. So it's had households out here that really affect stuff. That wasn't even a topic that we started at, but that's a good topic. See, we need to figure out.
Right. I mean, I know that it's not an easy solution, but somebody should not go to work and just not make it home to their family because of somebody else's negligence. And a lot of time, I bring up problems or things that's just on my mind. And do I always have the solution? Absolutely not. But sometimes we have to start having the conversation. Because if we don't talk about it, if we don't have the conversation, we'll never find a solution. I bring things up not because I always know the answer, but the bounce them off everybody else to see. Let's brainstorm. Let's come up with because these are our communities that are being affected. When these people walk away and they move away and they leave these houses and they next to you and the rats come in your house or the homeless people or somebody over there doing drugs and drop the crack pipe or whatever, they don't have to deal with it. But these things are affecting our community, and these vacant homes are really, really plaguing our communities, and they're becoming a problem. Not just an eyesore, but a problem. They're not structurally sound. So if it's next door to you, that makes your house less structurally sound, and it's just so many of them. In these neighborhoods, they used to be the mecca of our communities. These used to be thriving neighborhoods, where people took pride because they lived there. But, people still live there. So it's got to be some kind of solution to this, some kind of way that we can start doing something to get these houses fixed up, move some families in them. I mean, there's so many people out here that need affordable housing. There's so many people out here that young people that would love to become first-time homeowners. Even old people who would love to become first-time homeowners. So, it's just that I think that unless we start these conversations, that we'll never find a solution to these problems.
Squatters are moving their what?
Squatters are moving their families in. I had a young lady not too long ago, maybe last year sometime, that used to work with me, and somehow, and you never know what happened in people's lives, she became homeless. And her and a bunch of other people was living in a vacant building, and I don't know what happened, but she wound up dying in a vacant house.
Damn.
A mother, a young lady younger than 40 years old, that's how she died. Somebody just found her laying there dead and cold in an abandoned building. So it just affects so many people on so many levels. And like I said, I don't know what the solution is, but I know we need to start talking about it and find it.
Yeah, that's so true. I do agree with that wholeheartedly. Something else, just food for thought. Let's think about how many of these houses and stuff. Read that, see.
Lisa said also, CC, I saw people that lost their homes due to the pandemic and they were still living there because they had nowhere to go. Yeah.
And then guess what else too? The bank that owns it is not going to put you out. And that sounds crazy that they're not going to put you out. You want to know why? Because we found out when we was looking to buy a house, the bank don't want no more houses. And from the moment they leave out of that house, the thieves come in there, take all the cop out, all the walls, tear the house up, take the stove, take the refrigerator, demolish the house. It is no good anymore. When you start busting the water pipes out, stealing the copper out of there, the water's just running. They don't give a damn. You know what I mean? There's structural damage. You know, crazy. Some of this stuff is just crazy, crazy. But anywho, that's what these podcasts are for and stuff. So you could talk about. I think the sad thing about it is a lot of these houses just lost because a lot of the kids and stuff just ain't shit. You know,
Yeah, it take almost.
kids,
They said it takes almost 2 years before you can legally be evicted. It's
yeah,
outlawless.
kids ain't no good. You know, parents leave the houses to the kids and stuff like that, and the car. I know somebody mother left them $84,000, left them a car in the house. They lost it all in 2 years. Car gone, money gone, house gone.
Okay,
You
so
feel me?
Toby Bussy said, "Hi,
Look,
Marty.
bro.
I always wonder why these townhouses were not turned into homes for the vets and or homeless. Aren't most of the townhouses 2 or 3 stories tall? They could house at least 2 or 3 families. Can the houses be made into like dorms for more than one person to get them out of the cold? Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the same thing I say. You know, it's just so sad when you go down and see it's 20 degrees and people underneath the bridge, homeless people, and then look around and all of these vacant houses. You know, it just seems like it's got to be some middle ground, some program, some kind of incentive, because believe you me, nobody chooses to be homeless.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nobody chooses to be homeless, and some of these people that are out here homeless, you know, you wouldn't believe their stories. You know, I was looking at the news the other day, a gentleman who come here from Ghana, and he wound up, you know, somebody told him about all the jobs that there was in the United States, and he came here and wound up being homeless in Baltimore. Just what he said, he walks all day long because it's safer when you move. You know,
Yeah,
so
I saw that. Yeah, and you know something else too, that's true too. You know, they used to say that was a cartoon that came on uh one of those little mice or something like that when they first came here. Is because they said the streets were paved with gold and there's no cats in America. There's no cats in America. You know what I mean? Whatever that little mouse was with the ears. My mother told me no cats in America and the streets are paved with gold when you talk about persons of African descent. That's what they always tell us to work with us. That's what they say. They say that they think that when you come to America, you got it made. It's a land of milk and honey. And it's not.
and then when it come down to the veterans, like you were saying, it should be no such thing as a homeless veteran. You know, that's just a deplorable. Those 2 words shouldn't even go in the same sentence. That's just deplorable, because
That's sad.
you know what most of us know, and as my husband said, I'm gonna own up to my shortcomings. I know I couldn't do it. Just like Gina said, can you do it? No, I could not do it. You know, so what they do for us and for our country, for you know, for the citizens and for the country as a whole, is something that most of us don't want to and can't do. Ain't gonna try to do. So when they come back from defending the Constitution and our liberties and our freedoms, they should all come home to a house. They should, at the very least. You know, the VA is putting them through every hurdle that they can go through to get adequate health care after they go over there and get exposed to all these toxins and go over there and just who knows what kind of chemical warfare they using on them over there in other countries when they over there fighting, and then they come home to nothing. You know, they come home, they can't get health care, they can't get a job, they can, and believe you me, don't ever think that you can see and experience the things that people see and experience at war. and come home and be the same person. You'll never be the same again.
They drafted back in the day in the Vietnam War when they had the draft. All of us are born in January except for Purdy, born the 4th of July. But four of my brothers, including myself, were born in January, and the other one's born the 4th of July. When they drafted in the Vietnam War back in the day, you sat in front of television. They drafted my three oldest brothers on the same day. They drafted my three oldest brothers on the same day. My oldest brother, Charles, the one that we call Tate, had asthma, so he came back home. But Donnell and Andre, they both went in. And I tell this story all the time. Donnell is the one who will make the best out of anything. He came home with stripes and all that, and left there, finished, went and got his degree. That's what he went into war for. He said, got his degree, and he's an inventor. He's a millionaire. And my brother, Arnie Barney, he was a street person, so naturally, when he got over there, he became a paramedic and medic and all that. He ended up his last 2 years in Leavenworth and strung out on dope. Never was the same. War does all kinds of different things to different people.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I got anger management issues, and I don't follow directions well. You ain't gonna talk to me any kind of way. I couldn't have been a good soldier. Oh yeah, they'll straighten you, they'll teach you. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. That's all I can say. Lisa, can you imagine Terrell being a soldier? Good luck with that. My nephew Terrell, good luck with that. Some things you don't know, but to everybody that went over there that's dealing with them God-forsaken wars, that's why I start my prayer off with them every time. Man, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, man. Losing homes, losing lives, losing sight. You get back home, you know what I mean? Your wife got 2 more children by your best friend. When she was a perfect woman when you was here, gone and lonely. Just a whole lot to it.
Yes.
Children traumatized. It's a lot to this.
Yes.
Yes, not checkers, But Toby, that was a good comment that you had. I didn't really even think about it that way. A townhouse got 3 floors, got a garage. Damn garage. A family can live in the garage. We call them efficiencies.
Right.
So you got 3 families in there and a garage. That's 4 families could be in the houses just sitting there abandoned.
Yeah.
I never really thought about that. People don't know some words that we learned. Projects. When you hear people talk about the projects, that's what the project was. A project. When they built them projects and stuff like that just to see if it would work. We're going to put a bunch of families in there. That's a project. Well, let's try this project and see it work like a project you build as a kid in school and see if the volcano shoots up. It's a project. They gave you a project in school. That's what projects were. That's how they end up with the name project, because it was a project somebody tried. It wasn't designed for you to live in there for the next 100 years. It was a project. Guess what? It failed. Words we live. Mr. Webster always try to tell people, govern the world. We are all decided by Mr. Webster. Words. When you go over, you hear about a row house. People say, yeah, I live in a row house. You ain't know it. Row houses started down there at Bethlehem Steel. They built row houses for the workers to live in. It's designed for somebody to go to work, and then after they go to work, they come lay down, and while they're laying down, somebody else will go there and work. It was like as if we call CC your break room at work.
Right.
Row houses was designed to be a break room. Somebody lived in there during the day, somebody lived in there at night. When nobody in there, both of y'all could lay down. It wasn't designed for you to live in and next to each other for 40 miles in a row. Row houses were houses in a row. Projects was a project. We're governed by words. We've gone on and changed the narrative of what stuff is. An abandoned house now. Cece said something I didn't really think about. We always just see it as an eyesore. Man, all them abandoned houses, man, make the neighborhood look bad. Man, that's why I can't sell my house, because these people and stuff like that. It ain't never cost nobody their life. These firefighters lost their lives because of an abandoned building. They
Mm-hmm.
lost their lives, and like Cece said, and there's nobody we can even blame.
Right.
Can't even blame somebody. We can go over there and tell that person over there in Pennsylvania, it's been going on, that's been going on. First thing he gonna say is, oh, they'll find him and put a lien on his real house and do whatever they have to do. I'm sure they will. Because they're gonna hunt him down, make him the scapegoat with this. But he probably been trying to give the city that house and they didn't allow him to. You feel me? My wife has a student loan. Was it 30 years old?
Yeah.
She's still paying on this student loan. Just around her neck like an albatross. And then now that she's married to me, I inherited the student loan. She don't make the payments, I make the payments. You know, it's 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 uh it's really a touchy situation when you start talking about stuff that was given to you. Lisa, Arlene, and Toby, man, thank you for your comments. When stuff that was given to you that you didn't even want, and now it's become a burden. You feel me? So as the conversation started, what can we do to help that person get rid of it?
Lisa
You
said
know,
that now they started decorating abandoned houses instead of making them livable for the less fortunate. Absolutely. They want to put different color boards on the window and all of that. I mean, that's cute and everything, but it's putting a band-aid on a gunshot wound.
you know what they did to us? Good point, Lisa. And see, I'll tell you what they did when I was a kid, selling weed and stuff like that. You know how they locked us up? We sitting over there on the steps. They knew we selling weed. They knew we had our stash and stuff like that. And because we were sitting on the steps of an abandoned house down there on Fulton Avenue on the steps, they gave them a reason to come by and lock us up. They didn't need no cause or nothing like that. Because you know what they told me and they told my lawyer? They don't need it because the city owns the house. When I sat on their steps, I was on their property. They can do whatever they want to me. When you see them there, they'll just tell people, get off the steps, move. But really, if they want you, they come grab your dumb ass like they did us. They couldn't catch us. We had a good stash house. We had lookouts and stuff, but it was alpacas. So we sat on the steps. We was the big boys. And everybody ran up and down the street slinging and hitting for us and stuff. We sat on the steps. They came over there, surround us. What y'all doing? Checkers, we ain't got nothing. What you doing? Handcuffs and said, what we do? What we said? Trespassing. Trespassing on what? Abandoned house? That's why if you look at abandoned houses now, you'll see that they painted on the board. Property of the city of Baltimore. Y'all notice that when they board them up?
Yeah.
Read what it say. Property of the city of Baltimore. He showed that to me. I never forget. He said, can you read? Well, after they locked us up and took their time, them chumps that was working for us start telling and everything. That's gonna happen when they think that you're getting knocked off. But that was a smooth move. As CC was saying, the city wanted to own that house then when you knew you could use it to get me. But
Right.
right after that, they go tell Sid, what you gonna do with the house? I don't care about that raggedy thing. Just a minute ago,
Mm-hmm.
you wanted it so much it was yours. You locked me up because I was sitting on the steps of it.
Right.
Yeah, so
Right. And the thing that baffles me with the abandoned house situation is this, that if you don't pay the taxes on the house, the city put a lien on the house, they take the house. So if it's their house, then it's their responsibility to make sure that it is structurally sound. It doesn't present a danger to the surrounding. I mean, that it becomes their responsibility at that point. So
you
all
know,
of these how, but then we sit back and talk about we have a revenue problem. We need more money coming into the city so we can have some of these social programs, get these kids off the street and get them some jobs and all of this stuff. So, I mean, one and one is always two. That don't add up to me. Lisa said the city can do so much more, but that's not a priority. But now that these 3 people have lost their lives, watch how somebody try to step up. That's what I'm saying, Lisa. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. I mean, you know, I'm a firm, but we can't blame everything on the mayor. We can't blame everything on the city because just like we said, they ain't the ones with the guns in their hands creating the violence in the city. But some of this stuff, they just got to do more. They just have to do more.
I'm gonna tell you, just in the last month or two, we have just now seen just how hard these jobs are. Being an officer, being a firefighter. I never saw it being an officer is that as many officers were shot and killed. To me, they were just pigs and cops, and you know what I mean, running around bothering everybody. That's what I always thought. Until it was Kiana. Until it was somebody that I know, my friend. You know what I mean? That I know had this situation. I I know a lot of firefighters. A lot of firefighters are my good friends, way up the chain. Quarles, Jimmy Hayes, a lot of them. And I never really thought that their job was that dangerous because we come out of firehouse. It's a glamorous job. They just talking, sleeping all day. That's what we thought. And we looked up and it's not now. When those firefighters were all out of the same firehouse. They were all out of the same firehouse. I mean, they were friends. I mean, they cook out together, they picnic together, they go to happy hour together, they do Christmas parties together. So all their families were intertwined. So when you see everybody's affect, their kids play with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Their parents probably on the same little league team. The den mother, the coach. A lot of times like that, their kids may go to the same school together. This is a catastrophe.
Right. Just a whole family. I have a friend of mine who was a firefighter in New York and said that everybody in their firehouse, they all picked the name out of a hat. And if anything ever happened to you, whoever picked your name is responsible for helping to raise your family and helping out with your kids or whatever. I said that's a hell of a somber. I mean, it's a good
Say
thing,
it,
but
say it
that's
again,
how
man.
it up. They picked out names, and whoever name that you pick, if you should ever die in the line of duty, if that person should ever die in the line of duty, then if you pick their name, you're responsible for helping their family in their absence.
Great. Nah. That's awesome.
Yeah, Toby said, "Thank you, Lisa, for mentioning that. I'm learning that there is all sort of grant money. Why doesn't the mayor apply for it?"
Toby's always supportive of everything. He's in roll call and all that. He's just a good dude. My friend a minute. But there's so many good people out there, y'all. There's so many good people out there. It's amazing how we can't seem to get together as a unit. So many smart people and stuff like that. I married my wife. Y'all all know that my wife's nowhere near my age. My wife is 46. I'm 65. But she's young, and I'm fortunate. My wife's attractive. And yeah, if you want to say the other part, she's gonna shake her head because I'm out there. Yeah, I'm 60 some years old, and this 40 some year old woman climbs in my bed every night. Not because she lost a bet, not because we're going to happy hour, but because she loved me. I ain't gotta go out to get a fling or a side piece. I got a side piece to come to bed with me every night. But let me tell you something else though. I fell in love with intelligent conversation. My wife is older than me. Age-wise, she younger than me. My wife is an old soul. All she do is read. My wife don't go to the clubs. She don't hang out. She don't do none of that kind of stuff. She watch TV, talk on the phone to 2 or 3 people, and reads. I fell in love with intelligent conversation. I've been knowing my wife for years and years, and we never messed around. We worked together. Matter of fact, we didn't even like. Well, we don't say we're not gonna say we didn't like each other, right?
Right.
We didn't physically like each other. We never would have thought we would date.
Right.
You know what I mean? My wife was smart. She was a geek to me, and I'm a thug. I always been loud. You say something to me, anything out the way, Jack. I'm word for word with you. And my wife to me was docile. She didn't she do everybody work just to keep the peace, man. I ain't carrying the trays and taking them to breakfast and doing. I ain't doing it. I'm gonna go home. I'm going. And she said, I got the trays and breakfast and lunch and dinner. And to make you feel real stupid, because the little bit of stuff that you complaining about, a woman just now did it. Because y'all unit was ran by women, right? Wasn't nothing on there but women. And I mean, they restrained your monkey ass like everything else. You know what I mean? Did whatever they had to do. And they had a bunch of thugs on their unit. But they had some, man, you know, Boone them had their ways, and Marion, everybody got their ways, but they got some work done in there. They had a working ass unit. And my wife did the paperwork. Shout out to what does it say?
Lisa says she do love you, but you're lovable, Unc, and you deserve a love like she deserves yours. Black, beautiful love, power couple.
Thank you. You know what I mean? I say this because real talk, man. Try. My wife always saying it, always bringing that up. What do you talk about when you get out to bed? Man, you get up in the age and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, I have my good days and I have my bad days. All that old stuff. We as older guys and stuff like that, we worry about that. I work a lot. No, you know what I mean? Damn, baby, you feel like you losing something. My wife will always throw that up in my face. All of them just lying on a Johnson, baby. Mm-hmm. Ain't nobody getting no more than you. Everybody getting it twice a week or once a week, just like you getting it. And one time though, boy. Nah, Lisa, you got longshoreman too. Longshoreman too, sticky woo woo, all that stuff.
Yeah, when you get to a certain age, shit, you so damn tired. He's so damn tired from all of those of us that can't move to Pennsylvania and shook our responsibility, but gotta stay right here with it. Shit. Mm-hmm. You gotta have something else. You got to have something else.
And if you fortunate like Cece and I, that's why we go on vacation. We go on vacation, real talk, y'all. Your wife, take your wife away somewhere. All that old freaky stuff that you want done to you, what she say you keep laughing at?
She said, but we get it in.
yeah, we get it in. Hey, if you vacation, all that old stuff that you think that you want done to you, all that old freak stuff, you go to the hotel or go to the resort or something like that, she gonna do all that to you. But y'all don't go on no damn vacations. You don't go nowhere. You don't take them nowhere. You get what I'm saying? You gotta make sure that you get some balance to all this stuff that you're doing. Lisa and them go to the dumbest places in the world. To me, where you gonna go on a Mass and nothing? Where you gonna go on a Pocono? They just get up and go some damn where. But Lisa and Frank get up and go somewhere. They go somewhere all the time. Me and Cece, we take big shot vacations, right, baby? We stay on vacation, but we're on vacation as much as most people. But we learning that now, aren't we? That's why I post the other day. I asked Lisa and them. I asked everybody, what is it like to go to the Poconos? What is it like to go to Mass and nothing? You know what I mean? Go away for 2 days and do nothing. We shoot up Pennsylvania, right, honey? But we go up there because we were shopping.
Yeah.
We go up there to shop. But y'all, let me get my topic in. Put some work in your relationship. Put some work into your car. Do you realize, let's talk about warning signs. Do you realize everything has a warning sign? You know, the other day, Cece has a brand new truck. Cece just got a 2022 Honda SUV. Nice truck. I ride it because I do a little lift riding and stuff, and it's nice for doing lift. But the tire light came on. And I came in, I said, man, what's up with this? The tire light is on. I'm looking at it, ain't nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? I put some air in it. The man said it was okay, this and that. So I go back to the dealer. I'm fussing at that. I said, Jack, you know what I mean? What's this tire light on for, man? Brand new truck. I ain't had it 2 months. What's the tire light on for? He said, man, I don't know. Let's check it. I said, yeah, because, you know, you reset that. I don't know what's going on. Because it wasn't on when I got the oil change. The light came on for the oil change. And then when I came out of the, you know, a couple days later, then the light came on. And sure as shoot, after they went over there and looked at it, took the thing up, went up in the air. I don't know if I told you this, see. It was a nail in the tire. Did I tell you?
Yes.
That's why the light was on. It was a nail in the tire. I wouldn't take my time and try to figure out to see if it's a nail in the tire or something wrong. I just wanted to blame the dealership for this brand new car with the light on. It was warning. It was telling me it's a nail in the tire. It's something wrong with your tire. I ain't want to hear it. Talking about, Jack, got the light on this thing. I'm making these payments and stuff like that. What's the matter with you? I'm back to the dealer. You know, my mouth poked out. You know how I do, I'm party. And he politely said, Mr. Tate, no problem. This nail right here was in your tire. See that nail? We took it out. Here go my dumb ass. Yo, what took you so long? You know what I mean? I got to play it out. But here's what I'm saying. It gives you warnings. I was obese. I was obese. Weighed 300 some pounds. I remember weighing 330. Cece said I wasn't as big as I say. You know what I mean? I was always 3 something though, right?
Yeah.
I remember one time 330. She said, nah, it was like 313. I said, okay, well, maybe I lost 20 pounds that day. But anyway, I know what I was like, and it was giving me warnings. We would go out and I couldn't walk, right? Knees was beat up, getting shots in my knees. You know what I mean? Sitting down, can't make it to the car, all this kind of stuff. It give me all these warnings. But I just solved it. I just took some shots, or I just grabbed the rail on my way up. Then I was getting insulin twice a day, in the morning and the evening. Then I started getting to a point where I got, what was it called? I needed a slide. They said I started a sliding scale. So when I eat, if it was higher, so I'm eating 3 times a day. So I had to give myself insulin before every meal. That's 3. And then morning and the evening. 3 and 2 is 5. I was hitting myself 5 times. Now I'm an ex-dope fiend, but I ain't never shot no dope. I sniff more dope than you, put in you more dope and crack than any of y'all. Matter of fact, all y'all, the whole damn TV land, podcast land. I sniff more dope and smoke ready and crack than all y'all. But I ain't never shot no dope. But I was shooting myself 5 times a day. And I never was thinking about the fact what I was doing, but I would call somebody else a dope fiend. And then one day my wife just said, that's enough. And she took me over there to have that surgery. Boy, did I hate her for that. Man, that bariatric surgery was the worst thing that ever happened to me. I want y'all to know it's terrible. And then I had, what did I do? Why they have to do it again, baby?
You had scar tissue, so you had a blockage.
So they had to do it twice. But I didn't pay much attention to that. All those things were giving me a warning that I was killing myself. Right, honey? Yes?
Yes, excuse me. I got a sneeze, but it won't come out.
So we worked on that and got it together. Now I realize all those things were, you know, not knocking anybody about your weight and stuff like that. But if your weight is a problem, you better address it. You can die from it.
Absolutely.
You can literally die from your weight, y'all. What was wrong with my knees? My weight. What was wrong with my breathing? My weight. What was wrong with my snoring? My weight. All those things were contributed to my weight. It was showing me. What was wrong with the tire? It had a nail in it. What was wrong with my health? My weight. You know, how'd you get a cold? Because you didn't wear a jacket. You know, some of these things, they're giving you warning signs. Y'all out there, we are getting warning signs about our wreckage. Playing around with these abandoned houses and stuff. Now people are losing their lives. We getting warning signs now, but y'all running around just taking anything for a job, making money. You know, you happy to have this job. Rest in peace, Kiana. But being a police officer is dangerous. We know that now. It ain't just you and 20 cops jumping on somebody with your knee on George Floyd's thin neck. These cats out here got guns too, and they back shooting. Back shooting, come up behind you, shoot you in the back. It's crazy. So warning signs. If your kids are wearing too many mini skirts and they keep getting rides home from a guy dropping them off and stuff like that, you better address it. You better address it.
Absolutely.
If they having problems, if they start sucking their teeth and looking at you side-eyed, mumbling, they're going to start talking back. And later on, when you get old, might slap shit out you. You better address it. You better address it. Here's something off the beaten path. The salt that they put on this ground and roads now for this snow is 10 times stronger than it was back in the day. The salt that they put down salt now, whether it's snow or not, as a preventive measure.
Yeah.
That salt right there is eating up the paint on your car. And you up there looking at the weather saying, well, I ain't going to do nothing to my car because it might rain. But get that damn salt off your car. It's eating your paint up as we speak. You're going to be dirty tomorrow, but your ass still getting a shower.
Right.
I shower when I'm working at night. I shower every night. Every night. Now I shower when I'm going out. My wife just showers. I don't know what's the matter with my wife. Wife showers twice a day, 3 times a day. I don't know what's up with her and water. Our water bill should be $1 million. But that's preventive. She know that she running on an exercise machine. She needs to take a shower. She knows she a female and she got female body parts. She needs to take a shower. And she know that she woke up in the morning, she takes a shower. These are preventive measures. You don't have to worry about, does she smell? She showered too much to smell. To smell. So once again, these are things that's called preventive stuff. We need to do some preventive stuff.
Yes, we definitely have to learn to be proactive instead of reactive. You know, we always wait till something happens and then we want to do something about it. But just like you said, some of these things come with warnings. You know, everything ain't just a random thing that happened out of the blue. Sometimes there are signs, just like I was saying the other day. If your child went to school and shot up to high school, it was some kind of sign that you missed. Nobody just wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm going to eat my Cheerios, I'm going to pack my backpack, and then I'm going to go to school and I'm going to kill everybody that I can shoot. You know, that don't happen like that. There was something that you missed. So we gotta, warning signs for a reason, But if you don't take heed to them, if you look at the light and you see the light is on in the car and you don't address it, if you see the tire light is on and you don't address it, and then you get on 695 and the tire blow out and you hit the guardrail, then that's on you because the car gave you a warning.
Hey, CC, I'm gonna tell y'all something out there in podcast, and you're gonna laugh at this. Me and CC, I got her dream truck for retirement, that Range Rover, badass Range Rover. We had that Range Rover for 3 weeks, didn't we? And got a flat. How much damage did that flat do, dollars and cent wise, to that truck?
$6,000.
$6,300 for a flat. We got a flat. It by the time we pulled over, it did what? It tore up all the wires and all this kind of stuff.
Computer wires or something was underneath the wheel well. So
we had it 3 weeks and they was telling us it may be total because of a flat. When guess what? The tire went low. You know what we did? Put some air in it. I ain't never get it addressed. So I said, oh, the tire low. I put some air in. I put some air in it 3 times instead of addressing the tire. Then guess what? It gave me a blowout. Should have just fixed the tire. Changed the tires. It had a tire in the back, right? Right
Yeah.
underneath. There wasn't no donor. Had a full-size tire back there. All
Yeah.
I do is switch that one, put the other one on. But I was too busy riding the white Range Rover. You know what I mean? Now, when it was gone, though, I was over there sitting back getting ready to cry. Deposit and all this money we didn't put down on, all that's going to be gone. We had warned us. Something told us that while I was steady putting the air in there, I should have addressed it. And once again, later on, here's another new car with an air problem, and I did the same thing before I addressed it. When we said that the last time, I said I was going to do something. Now, I ain't going to let this happen again. As soon as I got a new truck, I did the same thing. Own up to your shortcomings. All right, CC, closing thoughts.
My closing thoughts are, I just want to tell everybody to just be slow to anger, be quick to forgive, and just realize that life isn't perfect and neither are people. So be kind to somebody. Do what you can. Don't hold on to so many things have been happening, and this world is just not the world that any of us know. So we have to remember that this life is really short, a lot shorter than any of us could have ever imagined. And every day we are faced with our mortality, with all of these plagues and famine and all of this kind of stuff that's going on. So just be kind, just be a little slower to anger, be a little quicker to forgive. Put yourself in somebody else's shoes sometimes. Have some empathy. And that doesn't mean that you have to forget every wrong that everybody's done to you, but you don't have to forget to forgive. So just do something kind for somebody. Check on your strong friends, as I always say, and be somebody important. Be yourself.
Yeah. Hey, that was a good one, C. Thank you. Hey, listen, my conversation, my closing thought is life is really getting short, y'all. Ain't nothing wrong with being single. If I don't meet Cece, I'm single and I'm happy. Now I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be this kind of happy, but I was all right. I decided I wasn't gonna be married. I was engaged, didn't work. As a matter of fact, she died. But I'm fortunate to have my wife. Y'all try to pick yourself something out there, y'all. Don't either don't pick the piece of shit or don't be the piece of shit.
Hmm.
In a relationship, don't pick the piece of shit or don't be the piece of shit. Real talk, y'all. You want some help, man. You can find yourself somebody. But man, sometimes the problem is you. Man, she doing this, she doing that. What are you doing? Sometimes the problem is you. You can't find a good man. I mean, did a good man find you? Did a good man find you? So that's what's up. Hey, y'all. Give everybody a little bit of time here. We have my friend Kiana Holly, Officer Holly, that's gone. We've mourned her, we've cried for her, we've done all those kind of things. We're going to toast her now. So we're going to give everybody 25 seconds. 25 seconds to go get your drink, get your water, get your soda, get whatever it is. Cece and I toast. This is our last toast for Officer Holly because, as we say, even Holly family don't have a monopoly on sorrow. We got 3 firefighters we just lost. We haven't even finished crying for Holly yet, and here's a catastrophe. But I can't just let her go without some goodbyes. We don't have to talk about it. Everybody knows what happened. Everybody knows who she was. She's an officer that lost her life, a mother, a grandmother, a child, aunt, a niece. So 25 seconds to go get your drink right for our toast. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. By now, everybody should have their glass. Everybody should have something around them, something in front of them, just to take a little thing. I don't care if it's a water, it's a shot, whatever it is. But this is what we do. Holly, rest in peace. Up to it, down to it. Fuck those who don't do it. We do it because we used to it. Drink, motherfuckers, drink. Rest in peace, Officer Holly. Rest in peace to the firefighters that lost their life, and praying for the one who's still struggling to get by. All right, y'all. Y'all know the drill. Mama! May the work I've done speak for me. May the life I've lived speak for me. When I'm resting in my grave, oh Lord, may they all say, may the service we give on these podcasts speak for me. Hands up, y'all, to an awesome show. Now, what's our format, CC? We're back again when?
We're back tomorrow night with Spotlight on Small Businesses. And Thursday night, we'll be here with another Simply Us broadcast.
Hey, y'all, I got some stuff here that my wife puts on me that she named after me. She calls Party's Cream. Makes your hands and body feel like a baby's behind. Tomorrow you get to see some of nature's secrets. You get to see some paparazzi. My granddaughter has something she's doing for these Valentine baskets. Lisa's going to get in there, and we're going to give Lisa a special edition. She's going to talk about having some insurance, because that's a business of her own. Everybody out there, y'all, thank y'all for chiming in. Please do something. Do me a favor, because I've said this and a lot of y'all have been doing it. Hit the share button. The same thing that you're watching, all you have to do is hit share and you're done. It's simple as that. All right, y'all. Till we meet again tomorrow. Kenny Davis, take us home. Now go out and have a great day on purpose. Y'all know who I am.